Alright guys, we're going to wax pot pickups. What's going on right now is I get these knockoff Invader pickups, and these, fortunately for me, they are labeled bridge and neck, so I know where these go, but they're not wax potted. How I can tell they're not wax potted is because usually when you see a wax potted pickup, there's a lot of still leftover residual wax on the back side of the plate and on the tape, and you know, on the studs here too, you'll see some. For instance, I have, I have this Hot Rails. This is a Hot Rail humbucking pickup. Fits in a single coil slot, and you can scratch on the back side of it and you see the wax is peeling off. So this has been wax potted from the factory. The tape is really it's waxy, I mean, and I've already cleaned off the face, but you can see some of the wax flaking out. So this has already been taken care of at the factory, but some of them they don't do it. And wax potting is good for pickups. When you get a pickup and you start getting high gains, and you'll get a lot of squealing and feedback and humming and buzzing, and the pickups themselves actually become really microphonic, which is essentially you can yell into them and you can hear your own voice. So if it's doing that, it's going to be picking up all kinds of other interference. So we wax pot them to quiet it down. I think Eddie Van Halen maybe was the pioneer of wax potting pickups. So if I'm not sure, you guys can correct me if you know. But we're going to wax pot these. So right now, you go to your local grocery store, you get some Gulf wax. It's a paraffin wax. They use it for like canning. And I always known it people for canning. They use it to seal the lids. And it's a couple bucks. I forget what it is, like $2, $3 for a box. And you'll get 4 bars. I already got one in a mason jar sitting on the stove. I'm using that as a double boiler. I have a saucepan with the mason jar sitting inside it with some wax, and we don't want it to exceed more than 150 degrees. So I'm just going to unplug the charging part of this camera, and we're going to go over to the stove, take a look at what I'm talking about. Just give me 1 second. Alright, as you can see, I have a mason jar that's been sitting on stove top, and I've melted this wax. This has probably been about an hour or so to get this wax to this point. We don't even have a rolling boil, is just a little bit, so temperature's hovering right around 150. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it off the heat, and we're going to go get a pickup. And let me shut this off, and we're going to give the pickup a bath in the wax. It's good to have paper towels handy too, because you're going to need that when you take the pickup out. So we'll start with the bridge pickup, and it's just a matter of just letting it down into into the bath with its own wire. You don't have to do any hooking on it or anything. And we're just going to dump this down really slow. What we're trying to do is work all the air bubbles out from between all the coils and windings. So if you can see, I'm going to lose the battery here. Just kind of shake it. I don't know if it's picking up on it. Let's see. You can see some air bubbles escaping. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to chase the air out of this. So you don't want to go too hot, put a super boil on it. You just want to get the bubbles out. And every time I wiggle it, you can actually see bubbles coming up to the top. And that's good. We're getting the air out of the coil. All the windings. Any trapped air is being released. It's being replaced with wax. So you have a nice insulating barrier on your coil windings, and you'll get a nice quiet pickup. So, and see, as I tap, kind of tapping and seeing if that helps get the air out. You don't want to be smashing them though, but so I'm not getting any more air bubbles. A few here and there. So I think we're getting good. But we're still getting air bubbles, so you want to try to get as much as you possibly can. You want to get that air out of there. You want to get all that space taken up by wax. And then what we do is we just set them on the paper towel. When we're done, allow it to cool, because it is going to be warm to touch, so you don't want to be just grabbing it with your hands. And I am off, the heat is off. I actually slid everything over, so this is just the heat of the wax and the water that's doing this. I'm not adding any more heat to what I have. And I'm still getting a few air bubbles here and here. And there was a bunch from there. And you want to work that out. Look at all the air bubbles come out. So this in the end will be a nice, quiet sounding pickup. And I will test them after with the ohm reader to make sure I didn't melt any coil. Really thin gauge wire. But at that temperature I wouldn't worry about risking desoldering the contacts in there. Should be alright. I've done a couple of... There's a lot of air in here. Look at it all. So every bubble you see is the displacement of air being replaced by wax. And I have a guitar over there that I did this to. We're going to go upstairs and plug it in. See how it sounds. Alright, it's stopping. So, there goes this one. Nice and slow. Let it out of the bath. Just place it down on the paper towel. Definitely is warm. Very warm. Just getting the excess off. I will come back and clean these afterwards, just to get the excess off. So there's one, and pretty much you repeat the same process. You notice the wax is still melted, still liquid form. It's been off the heat, and we're just going to lower this one nice and slowly into its own bath. And get all them bubbles out. We want all those bubbles out. Sorry. So essentially that's real time. 8 minutes in. Wow. I'm trying to keep these videos short, but it's going to be tough. I'm going to have to edit this. And just let it do its thing. You can help it along gently, but for the most part let it do its thing. And when you start seeing the air bubbles slow down, you know you're getting close. There's a bunch of air bubbles there. And I'm not pulling hard. I'm not pulling hard on the wire. I'm just shifting it, getting it to bounce, and getting those air bubbles to come to the surface. Quite a few too. So these are going to be a nice tight sounding set, hopefully. And they are an Invader knockoff. I think you can get them a pair. I paid like 17 bucks. The more time you spend in there, the better it is. Alright, I will bring you back when I get the other guitar up and going. Alright, see you in a bit. Okay, we have the Invader pickups in. I got the guitar all intonated, set up. This is bridge. I'm playing with a chorus, phaser, and a tremolo. Those are my effects. This is full volume. This is the two pickups together. Neck only. Now we're going to get dirty. You got a nice chunky sound to them. Oh, oh, oh. You can't hear anything. It's a $17 Invader style pickup. That's overdrive. So, you can wax pot your pickups at home. I got a lot of gain on this. I'm staying real close to the amp. The sustain is incredible with them. This neck is very wide. Not used to it. I'm used to playing with other necks. This guitar has a little getting used to. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Wax pot them at home, get a decent sound. You don't have to spend big bucks to get a nice sounding guitar. So, hope you guys like that. Please remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and we're going to be working on some more stuff. And thanks for watching. Peace.